Hi everyone, Steve Hedgiano here, registered dietitian, registered sports dietitian, registered personal trainer, and I'm here to tell you about my first week on my ketogenic diet. Well, where do we begin? Let's begin with my overall experience. So this is all subjective things that I'm going to talk to you about. Energy levels have been very, very stable throughout the whole week, which I'm quite happy to say. Initially, I was expecting a big slump come day 2, day 3, having minimal carbs. That didn't happen at all, which I'm very, very happy to say. And just to recap, I'm aiming for less than 10% of my calories coming from carbohydrates, around about 15 to 20 calories, 15% of my calories from protein, and then the remainder coming from fats. So I was expecting a big, big dip in my energy levels, concentration levels, come day 2, particularly day 3. That didn't happen, so I'm very happy with that. The keto flu, I did not get that, which is brilliant. Really happy with that. So that's cramping, that's again feeling generally down. Sometimes that's feeling like you've got headaches, maybe palpitations, shakes. Didn't get any of that. So it's all positive in terms of the subjective there. Now, in terms of my diet, let's have a quick recap on that. Over the whole week, so 7 days, I amounted 309 grams of carbohydrates over 7 days. So that is less than 50 grams a day. So I've done really, really well on that. And I'm going to talk to you in a second about how I managed that and how practical that was. In terms of protein, I managed 996 grams, which on average is about 130, 140 grams a day. Tad bit higher than it probably should be. So I need to work a little bit harder to get that down. And in terms of the fat, get this, I had 1,396 grams of fat in the last week. That's insane. That sounds crazy. It tastes delicious. That sounds crazy. Now, am I in ketosis or am I not? I measured my blood ketone levels for the first time on Wednesday morning, and they registered at 0.5. So that's the point where I just edged into the beginning of ketosis. So I'm very happy there. That was on Wednesday. On Friday morning, I measured them again, so 2 days later, and I was 0.6. So again, I just advancing there, which in some ways tells me that the diet that I'm following, maybe a bit too high in protein, is still sufficient for me to advance through the stages of ketosis. Remember, I'm looking to get to levels of around about 1.5 to 2.5 is my target range. So I'm getting closer and closer, and that should happen. I reckon within 2 weeks, I should get there, 2-3 weeks. And yesterday morning, I measured them again, and I was at 0.8. So I'm edging closer, very, very much so. Okay, a couple of questions I've had this week on my Facebook, asking about what I'm eating at breakfast, what I'm eating at lunch, what I'm eating at dinner. This is just a general overview. Now, my normal breakfast is a shake in the morning. And my shake is a protein powder. It's chocolate flavored, very low carbohydrate. It's also very low in fat. And the serving size I'm aiming for is about 25 grams of protein. I'm still doing lots of training, so I need more protein than, say, someone that's sedentary. That's what's making it hard to get the protein levels down. Because of the training, I do need more than someone that is completely sedentary. So that's why I'm edging at the higher intakes of protein. So that's normally my breakfast, a protein shake, and I have 50 grams of coconut oil in it. Tastes amazing with the chocolate flavored protein shake. So 50 grams of coconut oil. That's my typical breakfast. I've had that every day for the last week. Lacking imagination, perhaps, but it's easy, and it means I can just get on with my day then. To tell the truth, it's not too different from the breakfast I'd have normally had anyway. I just would have not had the coconut oil, and I'd have had a load of oats in it instead. Not a hard change for me. Lunches typically are a salad. I'm going for lots of fibrous vegetables in that salad, and some kind of meat, fish, cheese, or eggs. So again, that's my protein source, and about 30 grams or so of olive oil as well. I want those healthy fats. I want to make this diet as healthy as possible, even though it's low carb, very high fat. So 30 grams of olive oil in that, and maybe put a bit of vinegar in it too. In fact, the vinegar is meant to be a good tip as to help you get through the keto flu if you're having it. So without realizing, I was doing that. Dinner seems to be very, very similar to lunch. So again, salad, normally it's spinach, normally it's tomato. I might put a little bit of mint or basil in there. And again, some kind of meat, some kind of fish, some kind of egg or cheese or dairy, sorry. One of those, again, being cautious not to go over on the protein. And then I pour in the olive oil too. To make things interesting, I sometimes use a cooking sauce. So for example, if I can find a low carbohydrate and a low protein cooking sauce, like a Thai red curry or a Thai green curry, that goes in the salad. Chili sauce, that might go in the salad. Seasonings, again, if I can find seasonings that tend to be low in sugar, that goes in the salad. Some kind of sauce or some kind of basis just to make one day different from the next. That's the key thing in making this industry interesting. Going back to the healthfulness of my diet, over half my carbohydrates seem to be fiber. Of that 50, so I'm probably only managing about 25, 30 grams maybe of impact carbs, as the Americans say. So half of it is fiber. Meets the recommendation for fiber each day. And that slowly takes us on to the next question that I was given this week. How are my bowels? Well, because of the fiber, my bowels are absolutely fine. There's been no change in bowel habit whatsoever. I'm happy to say they're right in the middle of the scale. They're not sloppy and slushy. They're not rock solid. They are just normal, and I'm going as frequently as I normally would as well. Minerals. The magnesium content, the potassium content, and the sodium content of my diet I've been very, very careful with for several reasons. When you're low in carbohydrates, the body flushes out a lot of fluid, the kidneys get rid of a lot of the minerals perhaps that they would have held on to before, such as the potassium, the magnesium, and the sodium. So I've been having salt on my salads, quite a bit more salt than I would normally recommend if I was talking to someone about healthy eating. Magnesium, well, I've been having lots of meat, my spinach and my nuts are high in the magnesium, and the tomatoes in my salads, and again the spinach are very high in potassium. So I'm getting a good balance of those minerals. I've also been having an electrolyte replenishment and an effervescent electrolyte replenishment twice a day, sometimes more if I've been doing training. Okay, so energy levels stable, mood stable, concentration stable, sleeping, wowee, sleeping has been amazing. Every single morning I've had to fight to get out of bed, but that's only because I've been enjoying my sleep so much. A real deep sleep, so I'm happy there. So in terms of energy levels, sky high. So I'm absolutely loving this diet. Snacks. I found an amazing recipe for a fat bomb. A fat bomb from the Atkins site, and it's just butter, it's grated coconut, and it's coconut oil, little bit of sweetener and a little bit of vanilla essence. Mix it together, roll it into a ball. It is amazing. It's such an amazing snack. Really useful if you've hit your protein target for the day, you hit your carb target for the day, you've got nothing else but to make up the fat in your diet. And let's face it, I'm not the sort of person that's going to drink olive oil. I'm not the sort of person that's going to drink coconut oil. If I can find some other medium to get it in, then a fat bomb is it. So I really recommend it. You can find it on the Atkins website. Look for recipes, and it's fat bomb. On to training. So I was amazed. Now this is my first time doing this, so I did not know what to expect. I thought I knew what to expect, but I really had nothing prepared me for this week in terms of training. Now I started this on Sunday. I did a 2-hour training session with one of my clients on Sunday morning, and I thought that would be brilliant to kind of deplete my body of the carbohydrate stores that it was already carrying. On Tuesday, I didn't do any training for myself. I just rested on Tuesday, and then on Monday. I didn't do any training for myself on Monday, which was day 2 on the diet, and then day 3. I thought I'd go for a run. I thought I'm probably not in ketosis yet. So what I'm going to do is usher my body into it. And the only way I can think of doing that to help my body out is go out for a run with the intention to hit the wall. And that's what I did. I went out there with the intention to hit the wall. I had a very small window. I had just under 2-hour window for this training session. Woke up early and I thought, okay, let's go out, let's hit the wall. I will probably last 5K. At max, I'll probably pull out a 10K. If I walk the last little bit, I'll be home safely, and then I can just sit it out, ride it out. Anyway, I went for a run. I pitched my heart. I started off slowly. My heart rate was probably around about 60 to 70% for the first kilometer, round about 70 to 75% for the next kilometer, and then the third kilometer I thought, so okay, let's pick the pace up because I want to try and hit the wall at 5K, but I did not want to go above 80%. Why don't I want to go above 80% of my maximum heart rate? Because that's my maximum aerobic capacity is around about 80%. No point going anaerobic, because you're not going to help your body learn how to burn fat, and all you really will do is deplete your energy stores before the workout even really truly begins. Don't forget, I'm training for an endurance event, so I do want some kind of longevity in my workout. So anyway, I got to the third kilometer. I thought, okay, let's pick the pace up a little bit. So I was working at 80% as a maximum. Every time I edged over 80%, I just knocked the pace down a little bit. Got to 5k quite comfortably. I thought, okay, I'm feeling good. Let's go take it up to 10k. I took it up to 10k. I thought to myself, wow, this is unreal. I could probably stretch out another 3-4k. Let's do it. Stretch out another 3-4k. Got to 14. Thought, okay, let's do 16, 17, and let's just take it on home. Got to 16, got to 17, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let's make a story out of this. Let's do it. Let's do 20. So I did 20, and I thought to myself, well, half a marathon is not 20. Half marathon is 21. Let's do 21. I've done 21. Can you believe it? 21 kilometers on day 3, beginning of day 3. All I'd had beforehand was water and a black coffee. I thought to myself, no bulletproof coffee, just a standard black coffee. I thought to myself, this is not possible. How could I do a 2-hour run? In fact, it was 1:47 run, half marathon, and not hit the wall. I was absolutely amazed. Nothing prepared me for that. Wednesday morning, I went to the gym, had a standard gym session, done a 5-kilometer run on the treadmill, and I'd done a little bit of weight training. In terms of strength, I can say that I've noticed a decline in my strength, just because the muscles hold on to carbohydrate in the form of glycogen that helps you lift heavy. Didn't have that, so I did notice maybe about a 5 to 7, maybe even a 10% decrease in my strength when I get down to my 5-rep maximums. So I did notice a decrease, but it's early days. I was expecting that. In terms of cycling, I've had one hour cycle session. I pitched my cycle session at 77% of my 1 hour pace, so my FTP. 77% of the FTP. Why did I choose 77% precisely? That's because that's the lower range of what you should be aiming for if you're pacing yourself for a half Ironman in the time that I'm looking to do it. So I thought to myself, I want to see how far I am away. So don't forget, my half Ironman event is in 10 weeks time from now. And I'm looking at about 4 hours on the bike. So I did 1 hour at race pace, managed it absolutely fine. Water, black coffee beforehand, just water and an electrolyte effervescent during it. And came out the other side actually thinking I could have done more if I had the time. So that was really, really good first step. Then on Saturday, I did another training session in the gym. So again, strength training. I love skipping. It's my boxing background. I love skipping. I was able to do 5k run, 5 rounds of skipping, and then some strength training. So again, very, very happy with that. Didn't notice any issues with the skipping, and I was able to take my heart rate higher than 80%. I was able to take it to about 87% maximum on that one. So very happy with the results. Hasn't really affected my high-end stuff just yet, but my high-end stuff is sensibly high. It's not above 90%. Now on Sunday, this is my only low of the week, which actually started off as a great high, a beautiful high of the week, but ended up on a bit of a low. So I went out for a 2-hour bike ride, done 56 kilometers. First time I've been outside in a long time because of time constraints. So beautiful day, really lovely scenery, got some country roads in, absolutely amazing, really, really enjoying it. Picked some tricky hills as well, which was good to challenge myself with. But right towards the end, I was probably about 5 kilometers away from home. I could feel myself depleting and really hit the wall at that point. And that was okay. I was happy with that. I had the feeling it was going to happen at some point. And again, it's ushering my body further into ketosis. Not a problem at all. Halfway through the cycle, though, I was really, really craving something fatty and something salty. So my appetite was really kicking in. Didn't eat much before the cycle. So that was a mistake number 1, lesson learned. Have a good snack before you go, and I should have snacked during my cycle as well. I did take some MCT oils. I don't know if any of you have tasted MCT oils, but they don't taste nice. So I mixed it with some Pepsi Max, a sugar-free Pepsi, just to mask the flavour. And I think the caffeine in that had a weird effect on my legs because it made them feel a bit hollow afterwards. But it masked the taste of the MCT oils. But either way, it wasn't enough. I should have brought something solid, maybe like a pack of nuts or something. So lesson learned there as well. So I hit the wall 5k before getting home. I get off my bike, I sit on the grass, lovely day, catch my breath back, recollect myself and think to myself, okay, let's get back on the bike and let's just enjoy your slow cycle home. So I get back on the bike, slow cycle home. I get home. I am ravenous. I am starving. I'm thinking about chicken thighs. I've got a chicken thigh in the fridge. I'm thinking about nuts. I'm thinking about those fat bombs. So I get in and if I hit the wall when I was on a high carbohydrate diet, what I would have done is just grab as much carbohydrate as I can and chuck it in me. And it's great at the time. And that's exactly what I did but with the high fat, low carbohydrate diet. And because there was no substantial amount of carbohydrate in it, I couldn't break out of the low I was experiencing. But what I did do was chuck so much fat and protein inside me that's very, very heavy on the digestion, very heavy on the stomach. All the blood was around my digestive organs for several hours. Gastric emptying for fat and protein is very, very slow compared to carbohydrate. So the blood wasn't going to my muscles. Every muscle in my body felt weak. I had a thumping headache. I felt nauseous. I had to lie down and close my eyes. Only I was looking after my baby girl and she wouldn't let me. She kept opening my eyes. Wake up, daddy, wake up. Wake up, daddy, wake up. And it was a horrible, horrible experience. Lesson learned going forwards. Have a tiny snack when you get in. Wait half hour. Let the hunger subside and then have something more substantial. Don't chuck it all down all at once. Now, lesson learned from that one. It was only my inexperience in that situation which let me down there. So I can tick that box now moving forward. So all in all, experience on the first week, absolutely amazing. Very, very high energy levels. My diet looks extremely healthy when I look at the plate. It's full of salad, full of healthy oils and some kind of protein in it. It tastes lovely. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying seeing the results I'm getting. Never in a million years thought I'd be getting the results I am in week 1. I thought I'd be doing this in week 3, week 4. So really positive about the whole experience and can't wait to see how my body adapts into the next stages. Physiologically, what's happening right now, I believe my body is upping its production of ketones. My brain is using ketones as an energy source quite efficiently. My muscles are also using ketones as an energy source. What's going to happen at the next stages, I believe, is so my muscles and my brain don't continue to fight over the ketones my body's producing, my liver's producing. The muscles will adapt to increase their ability to use triglycerides for energy, and that in effect will preserve the ketones in the blood for the brain, and the muscles will get better to use the triglycerides for energy, which means that they can continue to power themselves for longer durations without me having to hit the wall again. But that should be in the next few weeks if I keep pushing myself and giving my muscles a reason to adapt. So that's the next stages. One final thing though, if there is a practicality issue with this diet, I would say it's probably a tad more expensive than a high carbohydrate diet, a regular diet. I've already gone through 1 bottle of the coconut oil, so I'm on my 2nd one this week. That stuff's not really cheap, so that's a drawback there. High carbohydrate foods are very, very cheap. Rice, pasta, potatoes has been very, very cheap. So I'm filling myself up on fresh vegetables, which again aren't too cheap. And the meats, again, well, the meat's the same. In fact, the meat's probably a little bit less. I am saving money on alcohol though. I am saving money on takeaways though. So again, there's a little bit of a balance there. And one final thing I would say, as a household, this diet isn't really 100% practical. My wife had to have a takeaway by herself on Friday. My mother-in-law brought around a meal for us on Monday, which I couldn't have. I had to have a steak instead. Yay! But I couldn't have her meal. So again, as a household level, it does have its drawbacks. But from a performance basis, absolutely gobsmacked so far. I'll be happy to keep you updated and give you more feedback. If there's any more information you would like, please let me know. Again, my website is www.londonsportsdietitian.com. You'll find me on Facebook as well, so londonsportsdietitian.com. And just give me some feedback. Let me know if there's anything I haven't mentioned that you would like to know about. All right, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.